welcome. We are the Crazy Hope Dealers, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are just so glad that you're here. So subscribe down below because we want you to keep on watching. We like our viewers. So Amy, what are you doing on this fine cold day?
Well, I'm drinking my hot pomegranate hibiscus tea. I've been drinking that, and
That
I've
sounds
been
good.
drinking it at night too because it's got a lot of health benefits. And because I've got problems with my cholesterol, I have been on a kick of taking some herbs and supplements to help me. I just started this past week, so I've got a regimen. I bought this book. It was recommended to me by somebody. It's a holistic book.
What's the name
And
of it?
uh holistic blah blah blah. I don't know. I can't remember.
That's a great name.
I'll show you next week.
Okay, good.
But anyway, it talks about different things in your system and what herbs and supplements that you need to take to kind of help you. So and then it lays out your regimen for the day. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So I've been taking a lot of stuff, and I don't like taking pills, but I've got these. A lot of them are in drop form, so I just 1, 2, 3 in my mouth kind of thing, and they
Okay.
don't. I can't even taste them. So that makes me
That's
very
good.
happy. So anyway, we'll see
Good.
how the cholesterol, because my LDLs are just not ever good. Ever, and mine is ultra
Maybe it'll
bad.
start peeling off and you won't have any more cholesterol issues.
Yeah, so then I'll start a podcast on how to get your cholesterol
Yeah,
under control. How about that? How about
that
you?
will be
How's your
good.
weekend? How's your week? I know how your week is, but
My week is frigid. It is so cold here. We we're up in northern, we're not up north. We're like up in the south of no, what am I saying? We're in North Alabama. And we've got, we had predicted like 3 days ago that we would get snow, and we were not real. I'm not excited, but my kids were excited. My husband was excited. You know what we got? We got sleet and we got freezing rain.
and
So,
ice, right? You got
yes,
ice.
lots of ice. Like it's a solid brick of ice. Like if you walk out the front door, you're gonna slide all down the stairs, and you're gonna keep on going because we got a hill, and it's gonna keep on going. Um, so it's I don't like cold. That is something you're gonna learn about me. I wish I lived in Florida, but I don't, and I
How long
have
do
to
you
deal with
predicted
this
to have
cold.
it? How
What'd you
long are
say?
you predicted to have that ice?
Well, okay, so we thought today would be our last day. And now Mr. Weatherman has told us that tomorrow we're going to get up to 40, ooh, heat wave, and that it's supposed to melt, but then immediately freeze back because we're going back into the teens. So they're thinking maybe Sunday. Um, I don't have enough food, Amy. I don't have enough food.
At Amazon.
I know if they can get it up my driveway, that'll be
They
great.
can probably meet him out on the road.
But in my skis, yes. That'll be great. No, I think, I think we have enough food. I'm just gonna have to make some major weird concoctions like beans and cabbage, or like
Sounds great.
does it? Or we have bread and orange juice. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll make it. I've got some reserves to live on, so that's all I know.
Here you go.
Yes. But no, I think, warmer weather is my friend. I don't like cold.
Hmm.
I know.
I wish we had gotten snow here. That would have been great. We just got cold weather and that's it. But I like it cold. I
Okay.
definitely
Yeah.
like it cold. I like bundling up in sweaters and stuff, so it doesn't
Hmm,
bother me.
that's good. Well, no, I don't. So hopefully it'll change soon. But kind of speaking on that subject, today we're going to get into talking about some things that we've been dealing with, both of us. And I'm going to start off with the story that it's not funny. But sometimes sadness and confusion sometimes makes for, in your mind, I think it makes it better sometimes to make it funny. But so yesterday, like we said, a sheet of ice, like nobody's on the roads, all our roads are closed, everything is closed. Sorry, my dogs are barking, you can probably hear them. But so what do we have? My husband decided to go walking. And so he's walking down the driveway. He's walking over to go check on his parents that live on the same area that we live. So he walked over there. Roads are closed. Their car's gone. So David goes into the house. Looks like the dog has been there for a little bit. And so he calls me immediately and he's like, they're gone. Full sheet of ice on the roads. So, um, so I immediately call the police. What else do I got to do? The roads are closed. We're not supposed to be going anywhere. They've shut down major intersections and highways and the interstate. And so I call the police. I'm telling them, okay, we have, some older people that have ventured out in their car, and they have the one driving has early signs of dementia, and we need help. We can't get out there. So I file this report. I call the police. So as I'm getting everything set up for them to go searching for them, my husband calls me and he goes, they just arrived. So I'm like, okay, I had to tell the police officer, sorry, they just came back. Thanks again for all the help. And so my husband had to have a really stern talk with them. They're 86, 82, and they just went out driving thinking they were going to go get something to eat. And honestly, it is like an ice skating rink out there. I don't know how they got even turned around, how they got, I don't know. And so we're having to deal kind of with that. I know, Amy, you're dealing with that too with your family, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got my mom is lives about 2.5 hours away from me, and she is a card. I tell her all the time. I'm like, you are. I hope she doesn't even watch this, but I'll tell her all the time. I'm like, God's not going to take you just yet because you got some meanness to get out of you. But, oh my goodness! But we are close, and so anyway, I know I can kid around about that, but she's getting at the age where things are starting to happen, and it's very worrisome to me because she's 2.5 hours away from me. So
Yeah. Well, they don't even have to be 2.5 hours from me to be worrisome, because who knew? That's why I said it was kind of comical, because they're in a 2004 white Ford Explorer. Right. The police have been telling everybody, don't be on the roads. It's horrible. But somehow they made it to Jack's and turned around. I have no idea, but
God was with them.
God was with them, definitely. But yeah, it is kind of, that's something, and that they don't prepare children for. You don't prepare children for your parents are going to get older, and they're going to start losing some of them will start losing their mental capacity, and you're going to have to take care of them. I was not taught that, and I don't think you're really prepared when it comes around to time for it either, because it's really things that you think would be common sense, they've just gone. And so, I mean, we're kind of, we've been dealing with that, and just wanted to kind of talk to people about that, because maybe you're going through this with your parents, your in-laws. But something that's helped me, and I know, Amy, I'll let you share about some things with you also, but I it's helped me knowing that there are places out there that do deal with this, and they do deal with helping people cope with their parents, dementia. We have a great place that we've reached out to. It's called Caring Strategies. That's for us in Huntsville, Alabama. But it's a company that really works with your parents are here. What do you need to do next? And what do you need to prepare for them? And just kind of help them, stay at home as long as they can. Because they're more comfortable at home. That's their surroundings. That's what they're used to. Their mental capacity may not be good, but if you take them out of their surroundings, their familiarities, then they're going to get worse faster. So that's just something that we've been doing. And to keep them at home, you need to make sure that you have devices in place in the house for, like, guardrails. We have a stair, one of those chairs that you go up the stairs with. That's what they have at their house. They also have railing coming outside into the carport, because a fall can be deadly. And so we've just kind of kept that, make sure they have food, make sure, they are getting what they need, make sure they're taking care of themselves, taking showers. That is something that you don't think about. You think that would be natural, but if they're forgetting to drive, that they can't drive on ice, then they're probably forgetting to take a shower. So,
And
but
forgetting to eat and forgetting to take their medicine, just
exactly.
things that, that they used to be, doing all the time, but then all of a sudden it's just, it doesn't even come into their mind to do.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, Amy, on, like, with your mom, keeping her in her house as long as she can, or, even other options?
Well, I would, my dad died, it'll be 5 years this March. And, the one thing is two are better than one. Absolutely. When one of your parents die, it is very hard because um, when one is strong, the other one is not, the other one can kind of carry and blah, blah, blah. But my mother has always been very strong. She's the most committed person that I know. When she says, I mean, just like my dad, if they ever said, I'm going to do something, they did it. I mean, their word was everything. And so she's a very strong-willed individual that, has always taken care of herself, has always, prided in the person that she is, the way she looks and stuff. And so, in just in the last, I don't know, years, I've kind of really seen, well, especially in the last year, absolutely really seen a difference um, in her memory and things that she's doing. I've had to take over her finances, and I'm very thankful to do that because I want to honor my mom. I want to honor her. I think for her to stay in the house, and I think this is good advice for anybody. If you want them to stay in their house, then really you need to kind of hire somebody to come in and be able to do some light cleaning and to be able to cook for them and be able to make sure that they get a bath and stuff like that. The problem is that is very, very costly. But somebody told me, a lot of times people in your church, older individuals, are looking for people to come in and, they just kind of work. And older people like older people, so sometimes they want an extra job just to watch or to cook or, whatever. And that's an idea to kind of be able for them to stay in their home. The problem is the longer they stay in their home and the more that their mental capacity drops off, then if you put them somewhere, if they come to live with you or if they go to a facility, that makes it worse for them. So really and truly, when they start showing signs, the best thing to do is at that point get them somewhere, because like I've seen, like in my mom, she's very, very depressed most days, especially in this weather, because she can't get out. And so they get very fearful. They get very frustrated quickly. They don't know how to handle isolation, because that generation always worked hard. So you can only clean so much in a house. I promise you could eat off the floor of my mom's house. But just saying it's hard to keep them there because of that fact of I'm always afraid I'm going to get a call that she's fallen, or, after the fact, after she's fallen several days, didn't know it. Of course, she wears a medical alert around her.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think anybody out there is listening, that is very important for them to have, so they're able to use that effectively when something happens. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's not only stressful for them, but, in reality, it's stressful for the children. We want to be able to take care of them because they took care of us. And we want to make sure that they're well taken care of, but also, not thinking about it selfishly, but, some of us have jobs that we need to maintain and to keep, because that's our livelihood. We can't pour from an empty pot. I mean, we've got to, we got to make sure we're getting rest. We're not stressed out completely because we can't take care of them if we're like that. Most people older, do have their finances, in place to where, if they need something, they will have the money to get it. Like for instance, with the caring strategies that we've used, they're paying for it. Because they know that we're getting advice from them and it's helping them out. So, just, words of wisdom, just make sure, kind of assess the situation when you get to it. If you notice the memory, lapsing, keep a journal. That's what I've been doing. I've been keeping a journal of things to, like this week, everything's okay. This week, we're having more memory issues. As in yesterday, I wrote down the whole incident about going to Jack's on the ice. Because not only for you to keep up with it, but when they tell you, no, I don't have a memory problem. There's nothing wrong with me. You have proof and you can go through and you can read some of those things to them. Not to make them feel bad, but just to let them know, yes, you do, and we need to get some help. I know a lot of times if you're going to get like assisted living or memory care, you do have to have it documented that they do have mental issues. So we're also dealing with that right now. So we have a neurologist that they're going to go to do a brain scan. They're going to do an EEG. They're going to do different, testing so that it will be documented. Yes, there is an issue here because their long-term health care won't pay for services if we don't have that documentation. So that is something good to know if if you need that.
Well, when you're dealing with this, and my husband's mom and dad live in town where we are, and they're in their 90s. and they're still in their home, and there's a lot of things that can't get done. We provide meals for them um, during the week with the help of my husband's sister and her husband. So we provide things like that. But when there's issues of memory and problems like that, I've always been told, not to argue with them. They're going to be adamant about something. And I had to remind myself that a lot because I will I have a job. So I'm sit here at the computer every day and work. So when my mom calls, I can be a little rigid just because I may have a timeline. And I have to stop and remind myself, wait a minute, she needs help, she's fearful, she needs, blah, blah, blah. And so I have to get my priorities in order, in other words, and try to be patient and try to be understanding and try to be very helpful. So, I think that the thing with elderly is that a big problem is a lot of times is their loss of independence means they can't get um they become more and more isolated, and some of the best stuff that could possibly happen is that they're with people, you know uh and a lot of people don't want to put their moms or their dads in like assisted living, nursing home, or anything like that. But a lot of these places provide um, activities. You're still active, like my mom is, she's still active. They provide activities, even if they go to church. Churches have a lot of activities and things and they're able to be and form these friendships with people. And that means a lot because they identify with each other. They identify with each other. They can talk about the past. They can talk about things that they used to do, and they have a lot of things in common. And so I think it's very helpful to do that for their mental state, but also just their emotional state, and physical and
Right.
emotional state, their spiritual state as well, where they feel connected to something or somebody. Um, so I've seen that's something that I want to help my mom with more. So she, if I get her here, that's one thing I'll commit to do is to, because she can be a hoot. Now I'm not kidding. My mother is absolutely a hoot, and she's, we're very, very close, and I want to keep her as healthy as I can for as long. So whatever I can do to make that possible, I want to do. I want to do
Yeah,
that.
I completely understand that. I've got, so with my in-laws, I've got two completely different personalities. So I've got one that likes to be by himself, doesn't want to get out, just likes to, even when he was in his good state of mind, he was working on the farm. He loved walking the land. He loved doing stuff by himself. He was a really hard worker. But he didn't ask much of anybody. He just kind of did what he could, and that's all, he needed to do. Now, my mother-in-law is someone who is the center of attention everywhere she goes. If she's not, she will make it. She'll make it known that she's there. Um, so like you said, Amy, she could benefit definitely with people, because she likes doing things, she likes going places, she likes talking to people. My father-in-law would not. So, and that would completely stress him out to where I think he would decline health wise really fast, because his farm is his life. And, but also I think, you got to do what, you can. And I don't think you need to have any guilt on, set your limitations of what you can do. And when it gets too hard, pray about it. Because we are supposed to take care of people. We are supposed to love people, but we are not supposed to completely stress ourselves out and make us not useful, because then we're just not giving our all to helping them. And I mean, sometimes it would be better if they, if they were in a place that, somebody else could take care of them 24/7. But, don't beat yourself up about it. Just know that they took care of us. We should take care of them, but know your limits.
And I think, God says honor your parents, and they need us more. The Bible says that once a man, twice a child. And, just remember, we are going to be there one day.
Yes.
And I want to be able to honor my mother. And it's made me really think about, being honest with you, it's made me really think about what I want as an elderly person. If God allows me to be older, what do I want? Do I want to make that decision to stay at home or to go to the facility? But you need to think about that when you're dealing with your own parents, because my mother always said, what goes around always comes back around. And but in right now, you can make a decision and let your family members know, and let your kids know. Say, this is my desire. This is what I want. Now, there's a lot of people who, just like you said, they work and it's hard to take care of their parents and stuff like that. And just like Brandi said, do not feel guilty, but do your part.
Yes.
But do your part.
Definitely do your part.
Don't let them rot in a nursing home and not take responsibility, because they absolutely took responsibility for you when you were growing up and provided for you. And it's just opportunity to honor them, opportunity to honor God.
Yes, definitely. Well, no, I hope that has helped you guys. Some people out there that might have been thinking, this is overwhelming, because it is overwhelming. And a lot of pressure is put on us as the children, because we do remember how well they took care of us. I mean, some of y'all may have, not had your parents take good care of you when you were younger, but if you are a Christian, we are supposed to love one another, and we're supposed to, love on them, show them the love of Christ, and, maybe do something better than what they did for you. Take care of them, because they're going to see Christ through you. And if they're not saved, that is a perfect way of showing God's love to them. So I hope this helped you guys. As always, subscribe to our channel, and we love you guys. We want you to come back every video. So if you have anything for us to talk about, just email us down below. But y'all have a great afternoon, and thanks again.